In today's video, I'll cover my predictions on the outcome of the AFC East. That's right, one of the most highly contested divisions in the NFL. So starting off, how did it end up last year and what does Vegas think? So last year, Bills went 11-6, Dolphins went 11-6 as well. The Bills ended on a hot streak, the Dolphins kind of sputtered to the end. The Jets lost Aaron Rodgers, of course, in the first game, which ruined their season. They went 7-10, and then the Patriots went 4-13 and were an embarrassment to the NFL. So what does Vegas think will happen? Well, they have the favorites as the Bills and the Jets, but they have the Dolphins just right behind, and then they have the Patriots about 10 miles behind. So they think this will be a tight 3-team race. So now, what you've all been waiting for, what do I think will happen? So starting off last place, not that big of a surprise. I think the Patriots are terrible and will be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Well, I do think their new coach is promising. He's not Bill Belichick and they don't have Tom Brady. So Drake May might be okay, but maybe next year, maybe a few years down the line, maybe when he has weapons, but they just don't have weapons for him. So I think this offense is going to be pitiful. The only thing they have is Ramondre Stevenson. They don't have an excellent wide receiver, tight end, or offensive line, or a great offensive head coach. So this could be a classic last year Steelers level offense that just cannot do anything. Now their defense, yes, I think their defense will be decent. I think there will be in a lot of games where they lose like 17-3. So probably not even the most exciting football, but I think they're just the cannon fodder of the AFC East. Now to the real teams. So I have the Buffalo Bills in third place, going 10-7, putting up a fight, maybe making the playoffs, but losing this division and ended up in third place.
We don't like you, we want you to leave.
Of course, the most famous departure of this team was losing Stephon Diggs, and based off what Josh Allen and the coach have been saying recently, they don't seem to miss him too much. But that might just be off the field. When you look on the field, they don't have wide receivers. They have Curtis Samuel.
They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
That's their leading wide receiver, Curtis Samuel. That's scary. That is just a lot for him to overcome. Now they do have James Cook, very good running back in his third year. They have two good tight ends. They have a decent offensive line, and of course, Josh Allen, top 5 NFL quarterback. This might be enough to put up some points, and their defense is good. So if their defense can hold them to low-scoring games, and then their offense maybe more focuses around the running game, they can put up some wins, and I think they're going to be a decent team, wildcard team. But I think the two other teams in this division are really good, so I just can't have them winning this division. Then in second place, I have the Miami Dolphins going 11-6. While this might be enough to win some divisions, not this one, because the other team up the road I just have as a better team. So the Dolphins, they have a super splashy offense, super exciting. They have A-Chain, they have Waddle, they have Hill. Back to Waddle, they have a great dance where he waddles. But their offense, very exciting, but it has seen at times where when you play good teams, the good teams are able to shut it down. The question is, can they overcome this? Can Tua, on his new contract, improve to the level of top 5 quarterback in the NFL, which he hasn't proven so far? Currently, he's like 10, 12-ish. The question is, can he become top 5? That would be a big jump. Now, Tyreek Hioll, Waddle, they're going to help. The running game will help. The coach will help. But on the other side of the ball, the defense, now it was rattled with injuries last year, and they actually didn't really get along with Vic Fangio, an old school grumpy head coach, so they fired him and agreed to part ways with him. He went to the Eagles, but they brought in a new guy, younger guy. So the question is, does this defense improve, where the offense doesn't need to score 35 points a week? If the defense is average, this team will be very good. If the defense is bad, then we'll see. So I have them 11-6, beating up on these bad teams, struggling a little with these good teams, and making it to the wildcard spot, and who knows what will happen with Tyreek Hioll in the playoffs. And that leaves just one team at the number 1 spot, That is the New York Jets. I had them going 14-3. I really like this team. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the AFC. They're a bit slept upon. So the Jets have maybe the best defense in the NFL. We'll see a little bit with if Hassan Reddick plays or not, but their corners are great, linebackers are solid, defensive line is great. Defensive tackles, defensive ends, really just all the positions on the Jets defense are good. Their head coach is a defensive head coach. Their defense, I think will be the best in the league. Their offense, maybe. And that is an Aaron Rodgers offense. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks ever. They have Breece Hall, a top 5 running back in the NFL. Garrett Wilson, a promising wide receiver in the NFL. Their offensive line is shaky. It might not be great. And it needs to get better. That is the Achilles heel of this team. But the Aaron Rodgers I know can do quick plays, kind of Tom Brady-esque, and make up for a bad offensive line. If this offense can become like the 10th in the NFL, this defense can carry them to the number 1 seed in the AFC. They got some easy wins in store against teams like the Broncos or the Vikings or the Patriots. Since they were 3rd place in the division last year, this will help them as well. You know, the easier their schedule is, the easier it is to get wins, of course. But my main thing focuses around Aaron Rodgers not losing it yet. Of course, if Aaron Rodgers has lost it, if Aaron Rodgers is no longer a good quarterback, then my projections are all wrong. If Aaron Rodgers, let's say he gets hurt again, team's going to fall apart. They don't have the best backup quarterback. He's better than he was last year, but still not great. But this whole thing, this entire thing relies on Aaron Rodgers, and it wasn't a great start, him missing some training camp on vacation, and rumors of there being drama between him and the wide receivers. This is not exactly what I like to see out of one of my favorites in the NFL. But I'm just looking at the talent on the field, and if this is anything like the Aaron Rodgers that we saw 3 years ago, then they're going to be amazing. Now, if it's the Aaron Rodgers we saw last year, well, then he's just hurt. If it's the Aaron Rodgers we saw 2 years ago, they could be really good, but he did seem to be falling off a bit 2 years ago. So it all depends on Aaron Rodgers. And I know that probably just makes sense, but it's Aaron Rodgers. Can he overcome a subpar offensive line? Can the defense remain the best in the NFL or not? I do think, as I mentioned a minute ago, Hassan Reddick from the Eagles, he's been holding out for a while. When I'm recording this, I don't know if he's back yet or not, but assuming he's not back yet, this is a bit concerning. They traded a 3rd round pick for him, and he was the Eagles' best pass rusher. As an Eagles fan, I actually did not like trading him, and I think he could make a big difference on the Jets defense because all he does is get sacks, and he gets a lot of them. So if he's healthy and he plays and he's motivated, he's going to be really good, along with all the other defensive linemen that fill up this roster. But it is the Jets, so what can go wrong will go wrong. Maybe I'll be way off. Maybe somehow they end up last place. But as of now, I have Patriots in last by a lot. Then Bills and Dolphins really tight at 3-2. And then the Jets a bit ahead at number 1. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and stick around for more NFL videos.